with all due respect.
Hey, we're Josh Ortegon and Greg Gaines, and this is With All Due Respect, the show where we keep it real about health, fitness, and performance. From weight loss to sports development, we're covering the conversations that matter.
Follow us on Instagram at Phenom Fitness, PHNM Fitness, and visit www.phenomfit.com to check out our training programs, coaching, and gear built for real results. Let's get into it.
All right, we're recording. Guys, we're in the middle of a format change. Not format.
Yeah.
What do we call it?
Platform.
Platform change. And it's been very interesting. I hope people can see. The first one we went live with it was the pregnancy and exercise last episode, 2 episodes ago. If you're seeing this and you watched our episodes, this is the third. 3. And then we got Margie, and then the physical therapy girls, and then us on a different kind of platform. So I hope it all looks and sounds good, but I don't know what episode this is. 90?
Around there, yeah.
We are slowly trotting our way to episode 100. And so far, we've had enough content that I think people realize that we're here to stay on this podcast. I read where it talked about it takes 100 episodes to gain traction, but I think we've had some really good. And now you're reaching out to superstar people. We're starting to get some.
Well,
some.
Excuse me. Previously, it was let's just pull on people that we know in our circle, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't know where this podcast is going to go. I'm not going to waste somebody's time. I don't know what I'm doing. And now, I think we've gotten enough kind of traction to do some different stuff. And so now I'm finding with scheduling, people are, we have to wait a month to book them. So I'm shit,
Yeah.
I need to get rocking and rolling a month before instead of 4 days before. I'm hey, you want to join us on Thursday?
Yeah, and I know even when we did Margie, I'm like, Margie, how often do you do this? She's like, oh, I'm on somebody's podcast. She's like, once a week, and I'm like, oh dang, okay, so you're cranking and rocking and rolling here, Margie, So, we've also realized doing this many podcasts that the timelines we put together for podcasts don't exist.
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever followed a timeline. And I think the most important thing, one of the most important things we talked about when we did this podcast was being authentic and genuine. And, we get people that have not been on podcasts a lot before or have not recorded themselves. And they're like, I'm worried about being nervous and what do I say? I'm like, well, just be nervous and don't know what to say. I'm like, just be genuinely who you are on the show, and people are going to relate. Because, man, there's nothing worse to me than people who are too polished.
Right.
I don't trust you.
Right. There's no personality to it. I can't really relate to you. And it's not that I'm rooting for somebody to mess up on their podcast, but it just shows you that they're human.
Mm-hmm. You'll watch podcasts, and I don't watch really long podcasts. Maybe I'll work out and listen 30 minutes at a time, but I don't know if anybody sits down and listens to 2 hour long podcast and be like, hey, I'm going to mark up 2 hours to listen to a podcast, all right?
Only if I'm driving. That's
Maybe.
I can listen to Joe Rogan style podcasts.
Yeah, they're really long. But you'll see people on podcasts and they'll be like, hey, we got to cut, I got to go pee.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, dude, that human being pees. You know what I'm saying? It's natural, normal human being stuff, but...
Yeah, it makes you wonder if we can, pause this to go to the bathroom and then resume it. Because, on Zoom, I think you have to stop the recording
Yeah.
I don't know if on this platform you
I
can
don't know. You know, the way we work is we'll figure it out on someone's podcast. Someone's going to be like, hey, bro,
I really
I got to pee. And we're going to be like, go pee. And I'll just sit here and pause it. And I'll just figure out if we can edit it and cut it out and clip it, I'm sure. Or if we can pause it and then they come back and I'm like, already. And then we hit start. And here we are, right? I don't know. Listen, I don't know. I'm winging it. But I think one thing we always do is that we are active, currently coaching people. Right? We're not people who went to school for nutrition and exercise science and then started a podcast that don't have any idea what everyday population people are struggling with. So when we get on here and we do an episode, we're talking about like real life conversations that we're having with our clients that people listening are probably wanting to ask that they're struggling with. And, you know, as it's coming into February, the schedule has a lot to do. And, you know, the hardest thing I think that people struggle with are getting back into routine after some sort of holiday or break or some sort of, you know, Christmas season, some season in their lives. People have a really hard time. And I really coached a lot differently this holiday season than I did with a lot of people. Like, I was the guy that was like putting out content and putting out blogs and posts and videos on like how to stay disciplined during the holidays. And I didn't give people free rein to just like, you know, be idiots. But like when clients were like, "Hey man, I'm gone for 2 days to go visit family," I said, "Dude, go for 2 days to visit family." Like for crying out loud. Well, what do I do? Because I'm probably not going to be exact. Because man, I have some people that really love the rigidness of it.
Yeah, same.
Well, they don't love it. They think they have to be rigid. And when they're not rigid and perfect, I almost feel like I have to give them permission to like, hey, it's Christmas week. If you get 2 workouts in,
Same. Yeah.
you're cool, bro.
I like this holiday season. I really pushed clients in September, October, and November. I was like, we're gonna get really good months in September, October, November because I know December is just like that's when people hit their minimums. You know, I'm like track as much as you can. A lot of people went on vacation. A lot of my clients went on like proper vacations, not just like, hey, I'm gonna go visit family. Like full vacations during December. So we knocked out September through November, had some ups and downs in December, but I would say 90% of my clients were like ready to rock on January 1st.
Yeah, I think you know, the time between Thanksgiving and Christmas is 3 weeks there. That there, you really don't have any excuse to have a really solid 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Right? And then coming off Christmas and New Year's, my main education with the client was, well, today's Monday. Holiday was last week. Like, you better have a plan of stepping right back in Monday. And Monday is the most important day. Starting Monday is the most important day to go back to whatever habits we were trying to establish, and you do them all on Monday. Like, you go, like, if you got 3 habits on Monday, if you're, you know, my typical habits are, you know, some sort of exercise that day, getting your protein in that day, and like some sort of like lifestyle habit around sleep or water intake or something. But, you know, those are like the 3 main things we really hit with people. I do have people that go back to tracking calories on the app and have really structured lifting. I do have a lot of people like that, but those are usually people that have some sort of exercise experience leading into this. I have people that just need 40 grams of protein for breakfast, a 40-minute walk, and, you know, getting off the phone an hour before they go to bed. Like, I have tons of those people, right? But whatever those habits were, I just needed them to hit them on Monday. And now that we're going back like into February, or if you're listening to this going into March, like you should be rocking and rolling. Like you should be habits in place, 80-20 rule, and ready to go.
Yeah.
And give yourself a little bit of grace, but like if you're taking November, December, January off and you'll figure it out around February, well, you're going to use Valentine's Day as an excuse.
Yeah. Totally.
And then spring break with the kids. And then April's going to hit. May, you're going to get ready for, change of schedule with the summers. And you're still going to be fat and not wear a bathing suit at the beach. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, people that made excuses through the holidays, they're going to continue to do it.
yeah. And maybe you need to adjust some things. I did have some people that were really rocking hard up through the holidays. And then when January 1st, we backed off a little bit and started building back those habits. Right? I understand that because you got to set up people for success. Right? But I came to an epiphany a little bit too with coaching is that I have a lot of people that always really kind of feel like they have to have like this outlandish physical goal. And I had a long talk with a client who struggles with this, and I was like, hey dude, you have to find your like cruising space. You've talked about that a lot.
Maintenance is my favorite. But that doesn't mean that, like, you can't have a fun training goal. Like, I find a lot of, I don't want to say purpose, but maybe excitement in finding a really fun training goal.
Yeah.
I think that's something that keeps me going to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
But physique-wise, like, I'm going to constantly go up and down in my, like, maintenance of, like, gain a couple pounds around wintertime, lose a couple pounds when it gets warmer out. Gain a couple pounds around wintertime, lose a couple pounds when it gets warmer out.
Well, you remember when you ran a marathon, you said that was awesome to like have that goal for something different.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying goals are bad.
No.
I'm just saying that like if you can't eat somewhat like a human being, normal person, manage your maintenance self, have a normal routine at the gym, and just be able to stick in that thing and cruise through it for months, and you're one of those people that like you gotta like be training for like some sort of like high rocks type thing or competition or some kind of hard goal that you completely will let it all slide unless you have that goal long term, you're gonna quit. It's not going to be sustainable. We've always said, and I've always said, just having abs is not it's not going to keep you sustainable. Only having like a physique goal, it's not worth it. It's not sustainable. People get to it and they're like, hey, I want to do this until I have abs. And they do something to have abs and they're like, it's really not that cool. And I'm hungry. Yeah, it takes a lot to maintain, and they're just like, I can't do this forever. I'm like, yeah, you're right, but you have to find that cruise. And me and this client had this conversation. I'm like, hey, like, what amount of calories, workouts per week, sleep lifestyle kind of thing can you sit and cruise at for like 6 months? And we came up with those numbers, and I was like, hey, man, maybe that's all you need to do for 6 months. Is chill at that proper spot, because it's exhausting if you can't do that. I deal with that with jiu-jitsu friends of mine that I help with nutrition or coaching. They're like, I always got to be moving from competition to competition to competition. And I'm like, oh God, dog, like that's how you get hurt. I mean, I did that all through parts of jiu-jitsu, and I'm like, dude, you either get hurt, you get burned out, you don't stick in the game long enough. You're that dude that hadn't been to jiu-jitsu in 6 months because you don't compete. You don't really find the joy in it, and you're going to get in and out, because we have people that start jiu-jitsu, they'll be 3 days into jiu-jitsu, and they'll be like, so what's it mean to compete? I'm like, hey, that's cool. I think that's awesome. I'll tell them what it takes to compete. But, like, that's the dude that does one competition, and then quits.
Yeah, I mean, you see that with new runners too. Like, I've had a lot of experience with somebody like doing their first half marathon and then they're signing up for a half marathon like 3 months later or 1 month later or whatever. And I think it's great to have a goal that really pushes you, but same thing with a runner. It's like you're going to burn out. At a certain point, your body cannot maintain the training schedule you put it under.
Your husband does a lot of CrossFit. You think he sees that with CrossFit people that come in?
You know what he just did? He stopped his CrossFit membership.
Why?
Well, mostly because it's expensive here to maintain one, and he doesn't get there enough. Like, just the class times don't fit with his work schedule.
Yeah.
Like a lot of Charleston gyms don't have class after 6, which is crazy. So he has one place that he's been able to go to at 6:15, but some days he truly just can't get there. But he's also like, I am so exhausted from doing manual labor all day that I cannot always be at CrossFit. Like, I'm worn out. Like, I can't lift the way I want to. I can't practice my endurance the way I want to. So he's like, my goal is to get there like twice a week and use like the class pass or punch card. And then the other 2 or 3 days, I'm going to just go lift because I can get there when I want to get there. I can spend my time like breathing, resting, and feeling like I accomplished something.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting. I just wrote a program for a guy. I got a guy. This guy's awesome. He's 53. He had Sean, that's been on our podcast, did his physical therapy. He had knee replacements at like 51. And Sean was like, he was always asking Sean, how am I doing? Like, how am I progressing? And Sean's like, I don't know, because we don't have any data on the recovery process of a 51-year-old with knee replacement. So, like, you're all new ground here. And this guy's a great guy. I'm talking, like, amazing dude. So, super compliant, wants to be better, just took the mindset that a knee replacement wasn't going to slow him down. I want to, be able to go snow skiing and hang out with his wife and all the kind of stuff he talked about. I'm like, dude, this is awesome. Like, he's like, I just want to be able to do it all until I die. And we got blood work done and found some things in blood work, made some change. But I wrote a workout for him because he wants to build some upper body mass and do as best he can. We got hormone levels checked. And he's used to a very high intensity interval training style training. And I sent him the workout and I literally put in there 1.5 to 2 minutes rest mandatory between sets. This should take you 45 minutes. It's 4 exercises and some stretching. Like, you have to do this. And I know when we come back and he gives feedback, I think it's going to be hard for him to be like, well, can I just do it fast in a circuit? No. You're going to lift at an RPE of 8. So I got to explain him what an RPE of 8 is. You're going to keep 1 or 2 reps in the tank. The gym has an ongoing clock. You're going to rest for 1.5 to 2 minutes, and then you're going to do another set. And your goal is to find out how much weight I can do on my bench press for 8. And it sounds like with Alston, he could probably really benefit from low threshold strength training where you're not like bent over, like sweating all over the place. Like, for the nervous system, man.
Exactly. Well, that's, like he was previously working like 3 months at a time at a job site, working overnight, but he would have like typically a pretty regular shift overnight, be able to sleep all day, wake up and then go work out. And now what he's been doing is he gets up at 5:30, 5:45. He's at work by 6:37, and he leaves work between 5 and 6. And he is on his feet, like, he is doing 10, 11 miles a day. He is doing, like, manual labor-esque things at work, and then he's trying to go to an hour, 80, 100% intensity workout. He's like, I literally just can't do it.
No.
I can't do it. Not every day. He's like, I still love it. I still want to do it a couple times a week, but I just can't do it every day.
No, he needs low threshold
So that's what he
type.
wanted to.
Yeah, he needs like you're squatting 3 sets of 2 at 85%, like, you know what I'm saying, like 80, 85%, like low threshold strength. And the thing is you can still get strong.
Oh yeah, like he's very strong.
Yeah.
Incredibly strong.
You can build muscle and get strong with that type of training. Because of jujitsu three, we talked about something at jujitsu. We had a new guy come in, and well, he's been training like a month or something, just not a lot. No, month is still relatively, like, you still have no clue what the hell you're doing. After, let's be honest, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I've been training for 12 years, but we did live sparring, and live sparring in jiu-jitsu is like you're not going 100% because it's not possible. Like, if you go like 100%, like, you're gonna go 36 seconds and then throw up in the corner. And we're getting ready to roll, and a man rolled twice and threw up outside the door. And people were like, "Hey man, like, back up." He's like, "Well, I thought this was live sparring. Like, I'm going as hard as I can. Like, I thought this was kind of like fight." I said, "Yeah, I get it, but you're not gonna make it." And my buddy Tillman looked at him. He goes, "Yeah, man. At this stage in your training, your brain doesn't know the difference between training and actually in a real fight. Like your nervous system is smoked because it doesn't know the difference between I'm training with somebody and he's going to choke me and I'm going to tap out, or armbar and I'm going to tap out. And your brain doesn't know the difference between that and, like, this guy is trying to choke me and kill me. So, like, your nervous system gets so geeked out that you can't last." And that made me think about, a situation like with Alston and lifting, or people that lift. Like, some people train so intense that their body is in a consistent state of fight or flight. And I wonder, even after years and years and years and years of training jiu-jitsu, if I still have that fight or flight, which is why the nights I train jiu-jitsu, my sleep's off. Because it's just, I train till 8:30, I come home, I eat late, 9 o'clock, go to bed at 10:30. Like, it's just off. But it made me start to think, I'm like, well, because I can roll forever. I can go train somewhere and roll off and on for an hour and a half and keep going, because my nervous system, I'm proficient at the movements. I can balance my energy, and I can pace myself. And at this point in my game, new people, or it's got to be a very experienced person, makes my life miserable for a 5-minute roll. Like, most new people, I'm deciding what we do and where we go and what we go, because I've trained forever. But, like, how many people out there, like, are just redlining everything?
I mean, it's like, I know, our wearables that we learned a couple episodes ago aren't always the most accurate to telling us how our sleep was, but we went to CrossFit last night, and 6:15 is late for me to train, but I try to meet him there once a week or maybe every other week because I miss it too.
Yeah.
And my average sleep score is between like an 88 and a 92. That's normally what
Wow.
I'm a good sleeper.
Wow.
Last night, it was a 51.
Wow.
Poor recovery.
Okay, how do you feel? Can we?
I feel fine.
Okay, yeah, that's, yeah.
But it wasn't like a restless sleep or like not deep sleep. It was a poor recovery sleep. So like my body battery itself is not fully recharged from the work that we did last night.
That's one of those things where it's such an interesting concept, because especially when we start looking at like blood work, or like looking at data, any kind of data, whether it's blood work, Whoop, Oura Ring, anything, we have to make decisions based off the data, but we also have to make decisions based off the symptoms. And it's kind of like, you could have a guy, testosterone between 300 and 900, or 300 and 1100, depending on who you're talking to and where the lab is or whatever. You could have somebody with 500 testosterone, 500 testosterone, and have zero symptoms and feel great, be doing great. You could have someone with 500 and have all the symptoms of low T. Like, how it affects you is just different. So, like, if you didn't have that wearable, you'd feel fine. You would probably go back and be like, my sleep was great. I could probably train really hard today.
Potentially. I think it's more so like your body response versus like how tired I'm feeling. Does that make sense? Like,
No, explain it.
like I don't feel like I need to get back in the bed and go to sleep, but my body feels worn out. Like
Yeah.
I'm definitely sore, and I definitely need a little bit longer today to recover, and I will definitely do a lighter lift today.
So how does that show up? Does that show up as like you don't move as well? No, like how does that show up in your symptoms? Like,
Just
do you notice
soreness.
like sore? Okay, movement. So movement quality, soreness and movement quality. Like usually you don't move as well when you're sore. Like
Yeah.
getting off the couch might take a little longer than popping right out because you're
Yeah.
sore. Mental fatigue,
Not as much mental fatigue.
higher appetite.
Definitely higher appetite. I'm starving right now and I already had breakfast. So I can tell you that I will be eating all day today. But it's typically just soreness. I don't necessarily feel like I'm dragging, but I do feel like, you know, if I'm going to go work out today, it needs to be slower. It doesn't have to be lighter in a sense of like I need to drop off so much weight that I feel like I'm just doing a super light workout. But just slower, more mindful with my repetitions. Don't overdo it. I mean, we did a shit ton of squats yesterday. Like, overload on squats.
So what will you do today? Going to do upper body? Light cardio? Like warm up? Blood
Yeah.
flow? Do you have a plan you're on now?
No. Just lifting for fun.
So like, if you did CrossFit yesterday, you did a ton of squats and high volume, then just the next day you do lift upper body and like,
Yeah.
then like, that's today you'll go in on Thursday and lift. Will you lift again Friday, Saturday, or Sunday?
Friday. I will. So,
Okay, so that's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. What's that look like then?
So it kind of depends on what my week-long schedule looks like and sort of my training plan. So this past Monday, I jumped in a class at where I work just because I had a tight schedule. And I
On Monday.
I needed to practice my spin after that was an upper body workout. Tuesday, I taught spin. So I don't always lift on the days I teach spin because I'm pretty worn out by that point. And Tuesday's been a really good rest day for me because Tuesday is now my busiest day at work. Wednesday did CrossFit, it was mostly lower body. Today I'll do upper body. Tomorrow I'll teach spin again in the morning and I might jump into that class. It looks like it's mostly lower body, so it would be a nice balance. But if it was something that I didn't want to do, I would just go to the gym and do it myself. Probably do a full body workout.
How long have you been on kind of this manage you week by week lifting program?
November.
Do you see yourself going to like, all right, I need like a plan?
Yeah, I'm sure eventually I will, but I'm really enjoying doing what I'm doing right now. But when I do go lift on my own, I do the same compound exercises every day. So like I will switch between a squat, a deadlift, a bench, and a row, or pull-ups. I will always have the compound exercises.
Okay, so what's nutrition look like then?
Nutrition is stellar right now. It's very good.
Are you tracking?
Not tracking.
But so what establishes
I do track
stellar?
fiber and protein.
Okay, so what establishes stellar? Yeah, most people can get away with that, right? As long as you're looking at food quality
Yeah.
and you've been doing this long enough and you don't eat like a butthole,
But like, I can't.
you can manage fiber and protein and eat mostly. You can do fiber and protein and then consume plant-based fruits and vegetables on the other side and pretty much live that way for the rest of your life.
Yes, and like something about me too is like I am a healthy eater. Like just naturally, I'm a very healthy. I gravitate towards whole foods and fruits and vegetables, and I've been like that for a majority of my life. That's just how I am.
You don't eat a lot of brown food. What do you guys call it? You got friends?
Brown.
Friends that call it brown foods.
But like I mean, like Austin's Italian. We have pasta once a week. We're always gonna have pasta once a week. That's just a part of it. But like if I know I'm having pasta that night, like my lunch is very fruit vegetable dense. Like I have 3 servings of fruit per day typically. I have 3 to 4 servings of vegetables per day typically. Like I'm eating my protein, I'm eating my fiber. Very cognizant of those 2 things. I have whole grains at least once a day. Like I'm very cognizant of my nutrition. Because I can tell, like, as soon as I eat a meal that, you know, I don't really love to eat, I feel bad immediately, and I don't like to.
Okay, so got to clarify this, that you've been doing this for a very, very, very long time. Well, we need to make sure somebody's not listening to this and they're like, I can do that.
Do those things. Yeah.
I can do those things.
I tracked.
Yeah, I've been eating out. I've been only eating coffee for breakfast, and
No.
I eat crackers for lunch, and then I eat whatever for dinner. So I can turn around and do that because Gray does it, so I can do it.
No. I tracked. I still track once a quarter for 2 to 4 weeks, just depending on how long I feel like I need to do it to check in with myself, making sure that I'm getting stuff. I'm very cognizant of my protein and my fiber intake. Like I'm tracking these things throughout the day to make sure that I'm getting enough.
Because
That
you're
was
you're
the
seasoned.
practice.
You're seasoned at this,
Yes.
which is important because somebody's going to hear this and go, I can do that, and then they're going to get mad that they don't lose weight and realize that like how many extra hidden calories they're eating. Dude, I had somebody one time having a hard time losing weight. And this is just a friend of mine, CrossFit competitor, was a high-end CrossFit competitor. Was like at one point like one of the top 15 masters competitors in the country. And he's like, man, I'm doing all this, and I don't know why nothing's happened, blah, 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 blah. And he'd come to find out, like, that dude, like, I was like, well, what do you eat? And he told me all the things he eats. He's like, yeah, there's a lot of sauces in that food. Do you, like, track your sauces? He's like, no, I just figure it doesn't really, that's not a lot. And I'm like, all right, what else do you do? It's like, well, that handful of trail mix at the office once in a while. But, it doesn't really matter. And, dude, we had this conversation on Facebook, and, like, I started plugging in stuff. Dude, he's eating, like, 700, like, 500 to 700 extra calories a day.
Stuff, yeah.
And I'm just like, come on, dude. Like, it's amazing the things we'll convince ourselves. Listen, if there's anything you want to learn from social media in the last month, especially the last month, maybe the stupid people just figured it out the last month, definitely since 2019, maybe longer, I don't know, probably longer, people will convince themselves of whatever they want to believe.
Oh, yeah.
People will convince themselves of anything that makes them feel comfortable. And, dude, like, the last month has been like a science experiment for me, watching people's behaviors. Helping people coach nutrition and fitness is a science experiment, watching people's behaviors, right? The people that are like, I track for 3 or 4 days, but I eat the same thing every day, so I know I'm within my range. I definitely know I'm in a caloric deficit. No, you're not, dude. You're not. And then, like, this bias and sense of, like, I have to be real sensitive. Hey, I'm not attacking you. I'm not mad at you. This is not criticism. Chances are there are a bunch of hidden calories and you're not being honest with yourself about what you're tracking and doing. The way you have to say that to people to comfort their soft little ears is just incredible, Gray. It is incredible.
Oh, I know. A big one that I see regularly too is people think they move a lot more than they do.
Oh my God, yeah.
So I'm like, yes, you go and do, a high intensity interval class or your lift or whatever workout that you do, and that's maybe 3 or 4 days a week, but the rest of your week, a lot of the time is spent sitting. And I practice this a lot with my clients. Like, if you want to get to a place where you don't have to track, the best thing that I do for me is I am moving all the time. All the time. I'm getting up. My average step count per day is 12,000 steps. In the dead of
Holy crap. Are you serious?
Yes. I am moving. And I know not a lot of people have that liberty, right? I do have a very free schedule that allows me to do that because I work from home.
Yeah, there are a lot of people who are tied to a desk 6 hours a day.
Absolutely. But, like, be cognizant of that. So, like, if you have 10 minutes in the morning to go for a short walk, or 10 minutes in the evening to go for a short walk, do that. There's been some times, because I've challenged myself to walk 10,000 steps every day for a year, there's been times I walked 3 miles in the house on Saturday. Like, I'm holding myself to that standard. But that's part of something that helps me very much so maintain my weight, is that I move a shit ton.
Well, let me ask you this. Because, like, Looking at and evaluating my own behaviors and my own cognitive bias is something I'm very conscious of. When I start forming opinions and thoughts and I start telling myself things, I'm very conscious of if I'm telling myself those things because listen, I got a weird brain, right? I showed Rachel an old personality test I did, like a Myers-Briggs personality test I did, like in counseling. And she read it. She goes, and this kind of hurt my feelings when she said this, dude. And like she said it to me, and I'm just like, why would you say that? She's like, no, I don't mean that critical. She goes, I wish somebody would have showed me this when we were dating. I'm like, what, you're saying you wouldn't like this would change your mind? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if you went to Austin and showed him your personality, and he's like, man, I wish I would have known this before we got married 2 years ago, right? You'd be like, or before we got engaged 2 years ago, you'd be like, that's hurtful. But if there's anything about my brain, I'm hyper analytical on myself. I've always said there's nothing you can't say to me I haven't said 6 inches from the mirror. So when I do something and someone's like, man, that's kind of stupid, I was like, dude, it really is stupid. Like, I get it. It is. You can say it. It doesn't hurt my feelings. I know. So you're talking about walking. I don't pay a close attention to my walking numbers. I see them, and there are days I get 3,000. There are days I get 7,000. But because of jiu-jitsu 3 days a week, and I lift 3 days a week, and I do have a lifestyle where I am up and down. I sit sometimes, but I walk sometimes. I'm on sometimes. I'm moving sometimes. I feel like if I was to focus on 10,000 to 12,000 steps a day, that could almost put me into a point of like, I need to be more conscious of my downtime.
Sure, absolutely, it could.
Is that true, do you think? Or do you think that's just me convincing myself and using jiu-jitsu as an excuse?
So I didn't make the 10,000 steps per day goal to be like, oh, I'm trying to move as much as I can. Like, I do want to be cognizant of my movement. I do enjoy movement, and I do think it's a huge piece as to why I'm able to maintain my physique. My goal was more so I need to get outside more often, and I walk undistracted. Like, my phone stays in my pocket. I normally don't have my headphones in because I'm normally walking Rufus, and I just don't like to have my headphones in.
Yeah.
Like, that for me is my non-stress goal. I'm not good at just like sitting and doing nothing. I can't. So if I am sitting in the house doing something, I'm normally crafting, but my step goal was like outside. Like, I need to go out and I need to go do something and I need to be, moving. I think walking is a very good active recovery exercise. I think it's very good for your body to get up and walk and move around, especially after hard training. That doesn't mean you have to do 10,000 to 12,000 steps a day, but maybe it's a 10-minute to 15-minute goal per day.
I do need to get out in the sun, but dude, this weather sucks, bro.
That's not an excuse.
And like, thanks, yeah. I hate the cold. There's nothing worse than being cold. I'd rather be blind than cold.
That's ridiculous.
And
Cold is temporary and blind is forever.
It's an exaggeration, I guess. But I hate the cold. Listen, if there's anything, Sunday night, putting the trash out, and I forget to put the trash out, and it's like 10 o'clock, and I have to go outside to roll the trash out front, it will turn me from a happy little person to an absolute angry, Scrooged, grumpy neighbor. Like,
You need better cold gear.
because I get cold, it's the worst. Being cold is the worst. I would rather dude, I was the guy at our little neighborhood pool. It'd be like 103 at 1 o'clock on a Saturday and nobody's out there, and I'm out there just baking. Like, I just want to, like, just fry me. Like, I want to be in that sun heat. That's why I've never done cold plunge. I don't care about it. I've done it. I hated it. It made my body hurt. I moved awful. It was painful. It was my body. It almost like it froze my body for the rest of the day. My mobility was horrible. You put me in the sun and put me in a sauna heat, I come out of that thing like a ballerina.
Yeah, your body should be warm. I mean, that makes total sense. But I always tell people, I'm like, if your excuse is not going outside because it's cold outside, you need better winter gear. Put 2 layers on, get a better jacket, put a beanie on,
Well,
put gloves on, like, go outside.
here's the extent of my cold gear. I started wearing socks this week for the first time in 5 years.
Right. You wear socks. Like, it's not that hard.
I put on socks. I'm not kidding, Gray. This is not an exaggeration. Probably for the first time in 5 years, I put on a pair of socks. I didn't even know where my socks were. I didn't even know I had a sock drawer. I don't even have athletic socks. I have like pink polka dot socks that I wear with like Jordans. I put them on, put my shoes on, walked through the day, and was like, this feels pretty good. Like, and then I went for a walk, and I'm like, feet aren't cold.
No.
Like, I'm just telling you, the extent of my cold gear is socks.
Oh, I know.
I
And
put on
that's how
socks.
most people are. Like, I mean, we live in the South. Like, it makes sense. We live in a very, very warm climate. But if you're going to make a goal to move more in the wintertime and not let yourself slack, like, go either get a walking pad or go get some cold gear. That's it. That's what you do. You're going to spend about the same amount of money. So, one of the two.
Meanwhile, my kid, it's like he's immune to the cold. Put a jacket on, don't need it. He'll come in from outside with a t-shirt on. I'm like, what are you doing? It's like, it's not cold to me. What are we doing? So, to go back to what we're talking, I, myself, do not do anything that's not well planned out and regulated. I have a structured lifting program all the time. I track my food all the time. If I don't, you got to pick and choose your battles here, right? Like, one of the biggest red flags when working with people is when you tell them, when they ask about the things they want to do and to get better. I always tell people, like, hey, get with me and let's go over, like, what are the things you really want to improve? And, like, dude, I one time had a lady I was coaching, New Year's resolutions, sent me like a 3-page PDF of her New Year's resolutions, but then sent me a this is a relationship that's not going to work. Sent me a 3-page document of the New Year's resolutions and changes she wrote for her boyfriend. I'm like, does he know this? And she's like, no, we have an appointment to go over this tonight. I'm like, almost wanted to find the dude and message him and be like, dude, run.
Yeah, for real.
Run. This is a nightmare. Learn, like, get her in counseling, bro, because it ain't going to work, because she's writing the things she needs you to change in the New Year's resolutions. And the things she were going to change was like, I'm going to get up every morning and do cardio. I'm going to get 10,000 steps every morning. I'm going to work out 5 days a week. I'm going to track my food. I'm going to get 8.5 hours of sleep per night. And this is all my perfect little New Year's resolutions. And I think just out of enjoyment, I let it ride for a little bit. And of course, it lasted like 2 weeks. And she's like, can't do it. But like, I knew one of two things was going to happen. Either this girl white-knuckled it and made it happen for the whole year, to which I was just like, build a shrine to her as the most perfect human being ever, or she was going to have a complete mental breakdown. Either two, I was there for it. Like, I was there to I was going to entertain myself with. If she did it for the whole year, highly entertained. If she completely crashed out after 2 weeks and had a mental breakdown, still highly entertained, right?
Yeah.
So you get people all the time that come to you with those goals and they want to be perfect. So like, you talk about your things that you have to have for health. The things I do for health, completely different, not wrong. Everybody's got to find them, knowing that like there are core principles you've got to stick to, right? I'm sorry, and we've had this conversation before. If I'm talking to you about your goals for that week, I mean, I had somebody one time say, I'm going to live 3 days a week and practice gratitude daily. That's cool, right? I I can be granola. I can talk to you cool about that you're like practicing gratitude every day. But you told me you want to lose zero point 0.5 to 1 pound per week. That gratitude is not putting you in a caloric deficit. Like, you know what I'm saying? I understand. And I'm just like, yeah. And I'll say it. It's like, yeah, it's not going to work for me. Like, I understand you're going to work out 3 days this week, but like, we need something else to move the needle. And like, I'm glad you're in touch with your inner self. But like, you got to, they ain't going to do it. I'm going to track it and have a scheduled lifting program. That's what I'm going to do.
And I come, like, that's the place I come from, right? Like, I always had very regimented strength training plans. And I don't know, I'm just having fun right now, just doing what I need. I'm still going to go 5 days a week.
Wow, yeah. So you live, yeah.
But, or like, I'm going to work out 5 days a week. One of those.
Is that your, then could that be your, I'm going to go 5 days a week.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay, so that could be, okay, so that's your thing, right? You're going to get 5 days a week.
Yeah, totally.
You might change the schedule weekly, but your thing is, see, I'm not going to go 5 days a week. I'll go lift 3 days.
Yeah.
I'll do jiu-jitsu 3 days. You're going to lift 5 days a week.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this.
Well, not lift, but work out 5 days a week.
Work out.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. So that's still like a thing. Like, if you only got 3 days this week, would you consider that like I didn't get it done this week?
No, I mean, like, I 4 is like my absolute minimum, unless there's like something going on where I can't get to the gym 4 times, like I have to 3 times. But like I work in a gym setting, so I know I'm going to be teaching 4 days. I'm going to be lifting in some capacity, right, or teaching spin 4 of those days. But to me, I'm like, that's my time that I gotta go. Like, I gotta get in there. I don't care if it's 30 minutes. I don't care if it's 45 minutes. If it's an hour. If it's a class. We just moved to Charleston, so I'm having fun, like, jumping in classes here and there. Getting to know, like, the overall fitness environment that I'm in. I just gotta go. I like to be active. I want to go jump into stuff.
So that's your thing. Right. But you got to have a thing that moves the needle. Right? Okay. What if, how would things change? I know we talked shortly about like, hey, I might go try jujitsu. You've talked about that, right? It's on your to-do list. Yeah, I'm gonna come down there. We're gonna go to a class. We're gonna introduce you to the right people. Blah blah blah. We'll do all that. Do you think when you add that to the bucket, you got to take something away, right?
Well, I didn't say I was gonna do consistently. I said I would try.
Okay, you would try it. Okay, and it could be anything. Like you could say, like, "Hey, I want to go run a marathon again," or like,
Yeah.
"I want to do more of this and this." What would be the first thing to go for you if you added something else to it?
Well, I can't get out of teaching spin twice a week right now, so like that will stay. What I would probably have to do is lift 3 days, spin, teach on 2 of the days, and
Then add whatever. Okay. All right, because something's got to give,
Oh, totally.
right? Yeah, I don't think there's anything I want to take out, but I don't think there's anything I want to add.
Same. That's where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
If I'm jumping into stuff, it's like a one-off. Like because I use ClassPass down here, I'll go jump into whatever class just to go and do it.
Yeah.
And that's enjoyable to me. Like I'm having fun.
You know what I did add for a while just to see what I would do? I started the step mill to start my workouts. I would get there a little bit early to do step mill. And I did like 3 days a week of like 5 minutes warm up. Then 3 days a week of 6, 7, 8. Worked up to 3 days a week of a 10-minute warm up on the step mill. That thing will make you curse. Rachel does 20 minutes every day or every workout at the gym as a warm-up 20 minutes on the step mill and says she can fly through it, no big deal, and she can truck through 20 minutes. Yo, I would probably have a cardiac event.
It's hard.
That thing is absolute. There's nothing. It's 10 minutes. I'll tell you this. 10 minutes on that thing is worth, to me, the perceived exertion of a 20-minute intense bike ride. And the thing is, you're not moving fast. You're like, oh, I'm just drudging along. 5 minutes into it, you're just like, I am dying. I heard somebody say the only thing close to it is the Jacob's Ladder.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Skier could be more upper body, but like,
Yeah.
skier who wears my ass out.
Dude, so I did that for like 3 days a week for 5, 3 days a week for 6, worked my way up to 10, and then I got bored.
Yeah. I'm just not really like a cardio machine person. Like, I'd rather do my cardio outside or like in a class.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how people get on there and like, I'm not kidding. When I used to work out at like a public, like regular old gym, like a Globo gym, I would walk in and I'd be like, man, that person's really cranking it on the step mill. I do like an hour workout and I leave. I'm like, that person's still cranking it on the step mill.
And some
This
people like breathe and
superhuman.
dizzy. I get dizzy if I look at my phone when I'm on a cardio machine. I can't do it.
I'm like, how did this person do over an hour of cranking on the step mill and not go borderline insane?
Maybe they're a hiker or a skier.
I've seen those people. I've seen those people like have a backpack on and go do stuff like that. You know, someone once told me, was like, oh, you should go find somewhere to, go get a bunch of stuff and go find some place to hike, like a trail. You can drive like an hour to go. I was like, I'm not going to drive an hour to go walking, bro.
I don't see you.
It ain't me, dude. Like, there's not a lot of things I drive an hour for.
I'll give Congaree though. Congaree's nice if we've ever walked around there.
Well, I don't even know what that is. Oh, it's a national park? Yeah. I went to the zoo. Yeah, zoo smells bad. Well, can you hear that? B. Way to put B on arthritis medicine. Yeah, she didn't want to move. I was afraid she was dying. Had a slight panic attack. Gave her medicine. And in 3 days, she was jumping, springing, hopping all over the place. She's a big girl, 82 pounds. They're like, man, she's a little heavy. I'm like, yeah, she's beefy. She's beefy. I walked her in, and one of the ladies at the vet goes, oh, that's a little hippo. I'm like, yeah, that's a little. Is that me or is that the dog? I don't know which one you're talking about. Right? All right, sis. Oh, so what do we got coming up? Can we explain to people what we got coming up?
Yes,
So,
we just finished our fertility series, which
Yes.
was a lot of fun.
that was educational, wasn't it? Holy cow.
I really enjoyed
Yeah,
it.
I'm intrigued by that now.
Of great people on. I am too. I think it's a very niche part of health and fitness to be in. Because everybody that came on and told us there's just not a lot of research in it.
Mm-hmm.
Because most of the research has been done on men up until this point. So
A lot of people we brought on doing amazing things. Really doing incredible education, doing amazing things. I loved it. I learned a lot.
I did too.
I learned a lot. My favorite, I hate to have favorites. I have favorites. I don't care. Deidre, if anybody's like Deidre's and Marky, I don't know, dude, that's hard because we had so many people on. But we finished the fertility series. Are we just going to wing some guests, find some cool people? I know you want to bring on a bodybuilding competitor, a fitness competitor.
Yes, so we are in talks right now of getting people scheduled. We have one on the books that is going to talk about chronic inflammation, POTS, binge eating, so really kind of into, I guess, really in-depth nutrition problems, or I guess even just inflammation problems is what we'll be looking at. We're in talks with getting a marathon nutritionist scheduled. I said to Josh that a lot of young people my age are being like they're getting introduced to running, and you know, for a lot of people, their goal might be to run a half or a whole. And Josh was like, "That is a lie. Like you are not around people."
Yeah, I refuse to
But
believe it.
I really am. I know a lot of people that have signed up for their first half or their first whole, or just have completed it, or even just have like big hiking goals. And I think marathon nutrition can be very similar to hiking.
I'm not. Listen, I'm not somebody to come to if you're a long distance runner. I can help you with your basic nutrition. I know my limits, right? Long marathon running nutrition and marathon training in general, or long distance training in general. I'm not. I'm down for it. The POTS inflammation thing is interesting. Interesting that the increase in there's been, I read a number, don't get me wrong, but there's been a huge dramatic increase in people being diagnosed with POTS in the last 5 years. You can say that that is due to whatever you want to say it's due. I'm definitely not going to say it's because of the vaccine, because that would be crazy. Definitely can't be that. But it is. Yeah, in the last 5 years I read an article about it's a ridiculous number of increase in POTS, and then you get the people like, oh, that's just because we know more about POTS. I'm like, all right, maybe there's a point there, but POTS, we got that. We're gonna bring on a female bodybuilder.
Yes.
Right.
I think it'd be interesting to hear what actually it takes to look the way that she does.
And get on stage and do what she does.
Get on stage.
Yeah.
That'll be great. We're gonna bring Mike back on for Shift Workers podcast.
Shift Workers podcast. Yes. That one is yes. We just solidified that this morning. That one is exciting to me for Shift Workers.
Me too.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then the other person that we're in talks with right now of getting scheduled is another one that's going to talk about pelvic floor health, but she works with women and children. So I know when I did Dr. Jessica London, when she talked about pelvic floor health, she only worked with women.
Okay.
So we're going to break it down for children as well. So I'm really excited for that too.
Okay. Well, hey, we will be on, this is episode 90, and we'll be talking with everybody soon.